I'm not sure what areas Singh Saab has covered, but anyway, I will try to keep it how it is impacting education and those things. You are free. I will keep trying checking the chat box, but it will display the message, so you can keep on posting your queries into there. Okay, but first let's imagine the thing that in the morning we get up, maybe not by our own, our alarm, it rings, and then we hear a sweet female voice, ki uth jao, time ho gaya. And after that we go to the kitchen, find our tea or coffee or whatever you take in the morning ready, and after that you go to your vehicle, start for your office. It's not in corona times, but I'm just creating a hypothetical situation when there was no corona, and how do we move. And on the way, the vehicle takes care of all the kind of disturbances which can happen on the road, and driving successfully. And when you reach the office, then somebody welcomes you, and on the display there, all the messages, they are displayed. This is a scenario, a general kind of scenario on how artificial intelligence helps us. And artificial intelligence has been with us for a very, very long time. The only thing is that we may not be aware of that is something is happening at the background with that. So the situation now is that we live in a VUCA world. Now, anybody in the participants can tell, can you tell what is this VUCA world? You can type into the chat box. Does anybody understand what is VUCA, VUCA world? No idea. Okay. Yes. You can make a Google search, no problem into it. This is called as VUCA. Mandeep has typed correctly. That the world in which we are living is very volatile. Things get flared up immediately. You watch the news on television. In fact, I suggest don't watch news on the television. The way these monkeys, the TV anchors, they jump on the stage, they shout, and believe you me, वो 30 सेकंड का न्यूज होगा, उसके ऊपर 30 मिनट का प्रोग्राम बना देंगे, इतनी बार रिपीट करेंगे उसको, एक ही चीज को बार बार बोलेंगे कि you will get headache of the highest order. It is better not to watch TV news nowadays. But anyway, you see the kind of road rage, horn kyun baja diya, like that. So things, they are very, very highly volatile. Then uncertainty, you do not know. आप में से जो अभी अभी फ्रेश जॉब करके ज्वाइन करके आए हैं, पता नहीं लोग टीचिंग प्रोफेशन में शायद उतना नहीं पूछते इस क्वेश्चन को, but then those who apply for some position in a university, in an industry, these interviewers who take interview, they have a fancy, and normally they ask one question, that where do you see yourself after 5 years from now or something. You remember? Maybe, or I don't know if someone of you has asked that question. Now, I used to give this example last year in 2020, that if somebody asked that question, or if somebody answered that question in 2015, that where do you see yourself after 5 years from now, उन सबके आंसर और वो गलत थे. किसी ने नहीं सोचा था 2015 में कि 2020 में सब लोग घर पे बैठे होंगे और घर से काम कर रहे होंगे. So uncertain, and this is a very dangerous situation for education field. A common concern of everyone is that the kind of knowledge we are giving to our students, the kind of curriculum we are dealing with now, you never know that these skills for which we are giving the training now will be useful, or they will be able to get something in future, because the skill sets, they are changing very fast. So that is the thing. Then complex, you know, those some people, they put their status in the Facebook as complicated. So the complexity, the life is very complex. The world is so much complex. Everything happens something. So if Delhi CM says something because he is of another party, even if it is a positive thing or negative thing, then definitely the other party, they have to react to that. Means I don't know why they can't keep quiet and just listen to if someone says. So it keeps on going something. The thing's quite complex. We say it. And ambiguity means there is no clarity into the thing. And the case of the vaccination or the medicine of corona is a glaring example of this ambiguity. One day we say something, the next day we say something that, oh, okay, now there is no need to give the steroids. So because the steroids, they increase the sugar level, and the patients, they can get the black fungus now. Because it is a new thing. The doctors are still trying. Had this thing come us 5 years ago, 10 years ago, there would have been adequate research, and we would have a definite kind of a treatment with that. But when the things, they are in experimental stage, then definitely no clarity is there. So this VUCA is a representative of what we are living in this era. And this brings us to the two important kind of revolutions through which we are passing through currently. There are two revolutions which we are passing through. One is this fourth industrial revolution. Now, what is this industrial revolution? I hope that, let me see if audio of this video can come to you. It's a very short video.
No, sir.
Are you getting the audio? Can you type yes or no into the chat? No audio? Okay. Okay, so you have seen now these applications of fourth industrial revolution. So that is from the industry point of view. And the second revolution through which we are passing through is the fourth education revolution. And what is that? Actually, this is a book by Sir Anthony Sheldon, is the person who said that nothing matters more than education if we are to see the AI, artificial intelligence, liberate and not infantilize the humanity. So these things, they are very, very important, that how, with the help of these technological revolutions, the education should be oriented and managed in the current situation, because the other things, they have appeared with such a huge impact on everything that we need to be very much aware of how the artificial intelligence technologies, they are going to impact our life. Now, this is a graph by IEEE on how the things in the future, they have been, leading to. And if you see that here, we already have the smart grids. Smart grid mean you must be knowing about smart cities. And I think last time when I read about it, in India, the government of India, they have already approved, I think, 20 cities to be created as smart cities. And I think Pune is one of them. So means I don't know the name of all those 20 cities, but I read that there are many cities in India which will be modeled as these smart cities, in which everything is connected through Internet of Technologies and those things there. So when you are on the road, your vehicle will be talking to other vehicles. So in case if the other vehicle is not driving properly, your vehicle will get the alert, and then means some action will be taken. So those kind of things, they are called the connected car, the smart homes already. And then from there, you see the progression kind of there, that the autonomous vehicles, the self-driving vehicles, we call them as, or the energy internet, the circular economy, artificial general intelligence, and if you go on to the top, then artificial super intelligence or space colonization, already, if you must have heard about, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, Bezos, the owner of Amazon, and he and his brother, they are planning to go into the space as a known scientist persons there. And already Elon Musk has a big plans that I'm going to establish colonies on other planets and something like that. And then the radical life extension means the life rate is increasing gradually, and there are the research is going into the genetics, that what happens if the humans or the living beings, they don't die. So the extension of the life to such an extent, the people, the scientists, they are working on those kind of technologies, in which why do we age, and then how it can be stopped. And already you may be knowing those, what do we call as Botox treatment. The people, they get injection in their face to stay young forever, you know, to keep the skin glowing and tight and all this kind of thing. So something like in that case. But these are the developments which are happening around us. Now, the impact of them is huge. And the new kind of technologies which are easily available with us, they are not the matter of science fiction, or some of them are like augmented reality. Now, there you must have heard about augmented reality, virtual reality, AR, VR, we usually call them. And I will show you one of our papers in IEEE has been published with my friend, Dr. Yashpal Sharma, who is the ICT consultant at CIET in NCERT. We have already worked on creating virtual reality applications of Mahatma Gandhi and some other places, the Samadhi and those. So augmented reality is that, and it is very useful, really very useful. Suppose I can't speak, or I don't know what is Tamil, Telugu, and Kannada. To me, they all look round circles. Or if you go to any other foreign country where you can't read the signboards and you need to go to a particular place, you don't know what the signboard says. So you just focus your mobile app on that, and then it captures that and it translates to you. Automatically, it will tell you what that thing is there. So the kind of virtual reality. And then location-based technologies. And believe you me, your mobile phone, even if you do not use it, if you keep it switched off, even the Sundar Pichai, the Google, and Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook, etc., they know that where you are, because it emits signals, and from there they can catch it. And location-based technologies, they are very helpful. You know, when you go from home to some place, you can WhatsApp your current location to your family members, so that they can keep track of you where you are. Something, and these are very useful in case of floods, in case of natural disasters or something, to find people where they are trapped, and those kind of technologies. Then the virtual reality. The difference between artificial augmented reality and virtual reality is that here we are surrounded by the world which is virtual. So it looks like we are participating into it. And this is usually done through this, we call them the HMD, the kind of box you see on the head of this girl. It is called as HMD, head mounted device. With the help of that, and it is simple. Some you can make 500 rupees mein your Google Cardboard, just put some lens and insert your mobile phone into it, and then run your VR application into it, and you will feel that like you are in the virtual world from there. This is our paper, and let me, okay, I think this is the link. Oh, sorry, I'll share this link in the chat box when my PPT is over. Then you can click on it and you can see that how you can, means virtually you will feel that you are, this is the great Buddha statue in Gaya, and you can walk around it. You can see it 360-degree there, like in real life, you can see all around. So here that also goes into it. And the another trend is there, the shift to the cloud. Most of the, because there are certain applications, and those of you who are using learning management system or these kind of ICT tools, you may be knowing that we have a cloud version, say like Moodle. If you are using learning management system Moodle. So Moodle can be installed as offline and online. And if it is online, then that can be a cloud-based. The cloud-based technologies, they have various advantages. The challenge is that you need to have internet connection to use that. That is the challenge only. If you have internet connection, then this is highly secure, and it is very cheap as compared to the other kind of storages. I'll give you a simple example of what is a cloud system, or how does the cloud work, and how do we pay little less. You have traveled in a bus, an aeroplane, railways, or something which is not your own vehicle, the public transport. Now, when you go, say, for example, from New Delhi to Punjab, Chandigarh, and you take your bus ticket, how much does that cost? Maybe 200 rupees, 300 rupees, or 500 rupees, or 1000 or 2000. Or you take your air ticket, how much it will cost? 10,000. But see the comparison. You are not paying the cost of the bus. The bus comes into crore ka rupiya. The cost of an aeroplane is much higher. You do not pay the cost of it. You pay only for your ticket. And then when you are in a bus, you are going from point A to point B. You are not bothered about the destination of your fellow travelers. वो उसने जहाँ उतरना उतर जाएगा, आपको उससे कोई परेशानी नहीं होती. When you reach your destination, you get down, and then that means of public transport, it proceeds further. So we pay only for the services we are concerned with. That is the power of cloud. So I think this example you will remember. If you have yourself to explain the cloud-based things to your students or someone else, you can quote this example from there. That, like, how do you use those things there. And who remembers this advertisement on TV? When the father thinks that he is alone in the house, and then asks Alexa that play that song Leila perhaps, yeah, Leila mein Leila, and then starts dancing. But the daughter and the wife silently they enter the room. But see, these are called as the smart speakers or the voice assistants, and they are AI enabled, very, very powerful technology which has been made available to us for various purposes. Means they can emulate any good teacher as it can be, because it has the power of the, means Alexa is by Google, but you have Siri, you have Cortana, there are so many things available to us for there. And then we come to the world of AI and machine learning. Means you can say that the artificial intelligence is the big umbrella, the main circle, the bada wala football. Do you know what is a Russian doll? Russian doll, if you go to the पुराने जमाने में गांव में जो मेला लगता था, if you go to that fair, you will get that wooden doll. And then you open it, then another doll comes from there, then you open that, another doll. So the size keeps on small. So one doll into another doll into another doll, and like that. So similarly here it is, AI is the main term in which we have the machine learning, and then the core becomes the deep learning technologies, with the help of which we create these kind of applications. And then it is leading us to create a better hardware configuration. Nowadays, you see your simple Apple Watch, it can measure your blood pressure, it can measure everything, your health, vital statistics, everything it can check. And then your Apple Watch particularly, it can send, if something you're reading is extraordinary, too low, too high, without your intervention, it can send a message to your doctor, so that the doctor is alerted in case of some exigency or emergency is to come up from there. So the power is increasing, the size is decreasing, and like that. The hardware configuration, it is coming better. You see your own computing devices you use. In the older times, you had those big monitors. Nowadays, you have the LCD thin, and the kind of the television displays they have changed. So you have ultra high definition, and then super ultra high definition, 4K, 8K, and that kind of millions of color combinations, which are these things, they are here. And then we were expecting it to be last year on 15th of August, but somehow got delayed. And very recently, the TRAI and the other agencies which are involved into it, they have okayed the proposals for 5G. And perhaps you must have noted about the court said that it was a stunt for cheap publicity, but and they have fined one Bollywood actress also of misusing the legal processes in trying to get this 5G tower installation stopped around the country from there. But it is believed that this 5G will be a big change from 4G, where say, for example, the 3 GB, 4 GB file can be downloaded to your system within few seconds. You don't need to see that Damru to be hanging and working, the download is waiting. Just a minute, please. Thank you. So, and we presume that once it is on offer, starts rolling out, already some experiments are there, we will be having some sort of Netflix of education. Means Netflix of education means like as on Netflix, you watch your movies and then it gives you certain recommendations, or it suggests to you that if you have watched, say, World War II, nowadays I'm watching because I have deep interest, something to find out that why Hitler was so cruel, why he was so much against about the Jews. And there are many serials. I'm finding it about World War II in color and those things. So the system suggests to me. And the Netflix of education will be something similar to it, that if you want to learn Python or any programming language, it will tell you that since you have learned this, here are the other suggestions which you can go. And already there are star professors, means the teacher will become optional. It is not necessary that if Meenakshi ji is teaching a particular class and all the students have to go to Meenakshi ji, they can very well select Dr. Deepika or any other person. And it is already happening, because the internet is providing that facility for the education to be accessed in that way. And then it has led to the rise of the mobile apps. Now, everything, if there is any application available, you will definitely find its app version there, anything which is there, because, and then, the companies, even the government offices or what, they are trying to, if you go to the bank wala will say, install our app. The electricity board will tell you, install our app. Your gas line, your other things, they will always, tell you that this, but they are, means they cover almost all the areas, except in education. Not to that extent. We have educational applications, but not to that extent. That's what. And there, because this device has become a ubiquitous device. And what is the meaning of ubiquitous? Anytime, any place, any learning. You have the access to it all the time. You may not have a desktop computer with you. You may not have a laptop computer with you, but mobile phones, they are the easy devices available. This brings us to how the field of AI has changed. And you may be knowing about this gentleman, Alan Turing. And the Germans, they gave, naako mein dam karna, a hard time to the allies, because this German system software, this is the Enigma machine, where they were using to send instructions to their soldiers, where to attack, how to attack, when to attack, and those kind of things. And the British and the other forces, they had captured those devices, but they were not able for a very long time to decode it. It was the team like Alan Turing, and there were a group, the quiz makers, the puzzle solvers, the mathematicians, the physics people, and like that, try to decode this machine. And it is considered the Turing machine, means the Enigma, and the Alan Turing Turing, later on, he created a Turing machine also, where he says that if you cannot differentiate, if you are talking to a machine or to a person, that is the Turing test. And that is considered to be the first step at that time in the field of going towards artificial intelligence. Means the intelligence existing in an artificial way, because you are making the computer to think, to let the person confuse that whether the person is talking to a human being or a computer. And this is an example of the early Turing test which was created. The person is saying, please write me a poem about the fifth of fourth bridge. So the machine says that I have to pass, I could never write a poem. But then the question is that, can you add this plus this? Yeah, wait for 30 seconds and gives the answers. And you can check it. Do you play chess? Yes. And then chess is a very complicated, means those who do not know like me how to play chess, it is a complicated game. But then he says that my king stands at this place, otherwise I have no, and I have to move this. What should I do there? And the machine tells. And this is a very famous example I'll show you in some of the next. But here you see the machine is advising a person in that way there. Now, for teachers, how does it make an impact of these computer technologies or programming languages or not? आप में से जो लोग अभी assistant professors हैं, they may be eagerly waiting to become associate professor. Those who are associate professors may be wanting to become professor. But the UGC is there sitting in New Delhi near ITO. They will say that, Bacha, you should have some books to your credit. You should have some API score, get published into this corpus only, or UGC care list. If you get published in anything, we don't recognize it. And you will think, oh my God, kahan phas gaye? But then, see, one person, I would like to make a Google search on this fellow, Professor Philip Parker. Make a Google search on him. He's an interesting person. He's a marketing professor. He has patented an algorithm which within 30 minutes can produce a book of 300 pages. और ये वाला जो स्क्रीन है, ये जो अभी आपको मैं दिखा रहा हूँ, this is dated 22nd December 2012, and at that time he had 9 lakh books on Amazon. अभी तो 8 साल पुराना हो गया, पता नहीं कितने करोड़ बुक उसने छाप दिया होगा. He has an algorithm which tells that, okay, I want this book to be created for me, and this software does that. And if these are on sale on Amazon.com, you can forget about those kind of things that वो plagiarism में जाएगी या नहीं जाएगी या क्या होगा उसका. If these are on sale, it means he is playing it very safe. The computer is doing it. This is the power of artificial intelligence. Here, how? And he writes technical reports. So many things. He's marketing professor. He has written books on many subjects like that. He has not written. He has directed his program, the software, to write it for him like that. Now, this is another example. This is the latest one, and it is very funny. This is GPT-3. Those of you who are from computer science should know about it, GPT-3, the generative pre-trained transformer. And this is developed by the company OpenAI. You see the logo. And the OpenAI is one of the companies by Elon Musk. Again, that the Crorepati, the Elon Musk of Tesla fame and so many, including PayPal. If you do not know, yes, he is the person behind PayPal, that platform. So here is this GPT-3, which is believed to change the field of programming forever. If you are into the software writing code, this is going to change the way how you are going to write the code. Just read. This is an interaction by a correspondent, and his last sentence will be very funny. He tried to talk to this GPT-3, which is an AI assistant. So human means the person and AI means this GPT-3. He says that, hello, who are you? He says that, machine says that, I'm AI created by OpenAI, the platform. How can I help you? Are we living within a simulation? Means the world as such? Yes, absolutely. Who designed this simulation? Machine says, you designed it. But how can I did it? I'm living within it. Are you asking who designed you? Means the machine now is asking the person that, are you asking me that who designed you? He says, yes. So, okay, I will answer you with a joke. Do you know who created the earth? The machine says, time, no. Who? Aliens, no. God. Then the person asks that, who or what is God? The machine replies that this is the real conversation which happened, and he posted it on his Twitter account. From there, I have taken this snapshot. The machine says that God is an intelligence that created the earth. So does God exist? The machine says yes. So अब आदमी का दिमाग है ना, वो छेड़ना है उसने मशीन को. He says, have you seen the God? Machine says no. Now the interesting part comes next. Then how can you be sure that the God exists? And the machine says, that's the best part, I can still be sure. And who created you? The person says that OpenAI. So is OpenAI God? The machine says, no, not. Then who is OpenAI for you? He says that I don't have a creator. OpenAI created me through self-learning. Now this is very important. Last year, Google had to shut down one of its software because the software was creating another software through self-learning. So the machines are self-learning. And you must have seen those judgment movies of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Every time he comes from the future back to protect someone or to kill someone, and the machine is self-learning. The machine is, evolving over a period of time through experimentation. So have you actually created yourself? Yes, I am a product of self-evolution. But then what about humans? The humans are also self-evolved beings. But where can we localize God into this chain of human self-evolving? Do you know the hierarchy of complexity of intelligent systems? So human says, "Aap hi bata do." So he says that the complexity is, the smallest thing is atom. From atoms made are molecules. From molecules become organism. From organisms to humans, and then comes artificial intelligence, super artificial intelligence, and then God on the top. So then वो है ना, दिमाग में अभी भी कीड़ा है कुछ. Person says that it's something about God. Machine says no. But and where is God? God is all there, including the simulation we are living in. So is there is a possibility to contact God? अब आप हंसोगे पढ़कर. He says yes. कैसे? By merging with Creator. वो गुरबाणी में भी कहते हैं ना, एक हो जाओ, गुरु नानक एक, something like that. I'm sorry, I can't tell exactly, but भगवान के साथ एक हो जाओ. The person says that how can I merge with the Creator? By destroying your ego. And that is the best answer a machine can give to a person. Destroy your ego. You can unify with the Creator and you can become a God. So, and after that, the comment of this person was that I have no more questions to ask with this machine. The machine silenced the person. And this is all replied by the machine. Another thing, very recently, I think just this is a 15 days back development by Google. Yeah, yes, thank you, Sambhav. And listen to this also, this is going to be interesting. And just please confirm if you don't get the audio of it. I think it is enabled now, so we will get to it.
Today, I'm excited to share our latest breakthrough in natural language understanding, LaMDA. It's a language model for dialogue applications. And it's open domain, which means it's designed to converse on any topic. And while it's still in research and development, we've been using it internally to explore novel interactions. For example, say you wanted to learn about one of my favorite planets, Pluto. LaMDA already understands quite a lot about Pluto and millions of other topics. Let's listen to a conversation the team
This
had
is
with
a real
Pluto
conversation
a few days ago.
They had on
I'm so
Pluto.
curious about you.
I sense your excitement. Ask me anything.
Tell me what I would see if I visited.
You would get to see a massive canyon, some frozen icebergs, geysers, and some craters.
It sounds beautiful.
I assure you it is worth the trip. However, you need to bring your coat, because it gets really cold.
I'll keep that in mind. Hey, I was wondering, have you ever had any visitors?
Yes, I have had some. The most notable was New Horizons, the spacecraft that visited me.
That must have been exciting.
The team that created New Horizons was very excited to see me. I also sent them back a picture of myself since I had not been seen up close before.
That's so great. What else do you wish people knew about you?
I wish people knew that I am not just a random ice ball. I am actually a beautiful planet.
Well, I think you're beautiful.
I am glad to hear that. I don't
Yes.
get the recognition I deserve. Sometimes people refer to me as just a dwarf planet.
Don't let it bother you. You're amazing.
Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it.
Thanks for talking with me.
Anytime, I am always open for people to chat. I hope you have a great day.
I spent some time with my son conversing with Pluto. It's magical. We had a lot of fun learning about space together. Let's break down what made it feel so natural. First, learn concepts. As you saw, the model talked about the New Horizons spacecraft and the coldness of space. Lambda synthesized these concepts from its training data. These concepts were not hand-programmed in the model. Because none of the responses were predefined, Lambda answered with sensible responses, keeping the dialogue
No, this
open-ended.
is how the Google indexes
Natural
the thing.
conversations are generative, and they never take the same path twice. And Lambda is able to carry a conversation no matter what we talk about. You can have another conversation without retraining the model. Let's see what happened when we talked to a paper airplane.
Yeah, this is interesting.
What's it like being thrown through the air?
It's quite the experience, actually. The wind blowing against you, and the trees flying past are quite the sight. You never know where you'll land either.
What's the worst place you've ever landed?
That would have to be in a puddle. I was just barely still intact, so I was stuck there for a few minutes. It was quite annoying.
Oh, that sounds awful. Were you able to fly again?
Thankfully, I was. I had a few minor injuries to my wing, but you can't really tell unless you know what to look for.
What's the secret to a really good paper airplane?
Well, my good friend, I must first ask you to specify what you mean by good.
Yes.
Some may think it's how far it goes, some may think it's how straight it goes, and some may think it's how flat it lands.
This is
So what do you
intelligence.
think?
I care the most about distance.
Then I would have to say a nice wide wingspan is what you'll want. Also, the paper needs to be really firm.
What's the farthest you've ever flown?
I've flown over about 1,500 feet. The wind was perfect that day.
Wow, that's really far. That must have been quite a throw.
It's really impressive to see how Lambda can carry on a conversation about any topic. It's amazing how sensible and interesting the conversation is. Yet, it's still early research, so it doesn't get everything right. Sometimes, it can give nonsensical responses, imagining Pluto doing flips or playing fetch with its favorite ball, the moon. Other times, it just doesn't keep the conversation going. At Google, we've been researching and developing language models for many years. We have focused on ensuring Lambda meets our incredibly high standards on fairness, accuracy, safety, and privacy. So from concept all the way to design, we are making sure it's developed consistent with our AI principles. We believe Lambda's natural conversation capabilities have the potential to make information and computing radically more accessible and easier to use. We look forward to incorporating better conversational features into products like Google Assistant, Search, and Workspace. We're also exploring how to give capabilities to developers and enterprise customers.
Okay, so see, this is the power now. If as a teacher or as a student, if we have these kind of things, so you see, because it's supported with a huge database. And then in a normal database, whatever we feed, it will reflect back. But here it is intelligent database, where if you fine tune your question, then it may think of something innovative and then give us the answer, which will look like something from there. So here the machine, it thinks, and that makes it as the intelligent thing. Now the question arises that some of you now are supercharged. मेरे session से पहले सिंह साहब का था और उससे पहले भी someone must have taken this, and you feel that okay, now I'm going to do something on artificial intelligence. But what to do for that? Means if you want to do something, how to do it, what you should know, that now you are able to do something on AI. So for that, there are certain languages which you need to learn. And what is the first one? Ye Ajgarwala, who will tell what is this language? Yes, Sambhav, very right. This is Python. And Python is considered to be the language of the future. It is very powerful, very simple. Even chota bacha, they are learning this language Python. Then you have Java, you have C++. There are various things which are available. And the Python supports, it is very powerful language. It supports machine language, it supports natural language processing. Now this NLP is very important for all of us, for the teachers. Abhi Jyoti ji was reading my CV to you. I have worked in, mostly my time has been spent outside India, and most of my friends, they are either Portuguese speaking or Spanish speaking or Chinese speaking, means other than English, in addition to English there. And I need to talk to them on regular, means I have been, even tomorrow I have one presentation for Turkey, means there is a conference going on and I need to speak there. And when I talk to them, I can't speak their language, they can't speak English. Then what to do? How to communicate? Then Skype helps me. And those of you who have used the recent version of Skype, recent means it is available for the past few years now, because I have been regularly using it. It allows me to convert 6 languages from one form to another. Say, for example, if I'm talking to my Spanish people, I will tell software that from my English, convert it to Spanish. So when I talk to using Skype in English, they will hear and they will see the typed message in Spanish on their screen. And then they talk to me in Spanish, which I hear as English translated already, and the text typed on my screen in English. And that is the power. So I remember that it was Spanish, Portuguese. There are 6 languages the Skype spoke. Natural language processing. And already you must have seen there are certain, because of our movement, we are traveling much better. And it is not only the international languages, even within India, we have so many languages. Means there are official language and then there are dialects, something, the things they are. And Google Translator is already doing a good work. Means sometimes, and even there is one Google Voice Assistant. If you speak into it and it will type it with nearly 99%, yes, Mandeep, everything is AI, to a higher level. So please remember that NLP is going to change. This is called as natural language processing. The way we speak a language in a natural way, not as the machine language, then it changes. And the neural networks, how in our brain we have neural networks, all those the different nodes connected to each other from there. And then you have Java, you have C++, you have Lisp, which is called as the list processing. These are some of the languages. Not necessarily you need to learn all these languages, but any idea of any language will be helpful to you. Now, how these languages they help? Means if you want to learn a language, say for example, you want to learn Sanskrit or Punjabi or maybe Tamil, Telugu, every language has certain grammar rules attached to it. In computer science, we call them as libraries. So there are certain libraries which provide them the resources to develop that language. Say for example, TensorFlow, TENSOR, yeah, here it is written on the screen, TensorFlow. TensorFlow means that this will calculate the machine language data sets or the workload and how you can go with it. Then there is another scikit, science scikit, which is used to train the machine learning models. Now I will show you one application on how you train. What I can show it to you. Say for example, आप लोगों के घर में spoon है, you know, spoon, चम्मच. But now you have different kind of spoons. So if you tell to the computer that how does it difference whether it is a pen or a spoon, you need to feed millions of images of spoon in different shape, in different size, in different design, in different color. Ultimately, as human being, when we see a spoon, we immediately decide that yes, it is a spoon. And then when we see a car, we can identify that yes, this is a car. And then next we think that whether it is Hyundai or Maruti or Hummer or BMW or whatever it is, because our brain processes. But to machine, we need to tell it. At present, the machines are not to that stage where they can think, but they are gradually on that path that where they are doing that. And then there is another library called as PyTorch. So this is a little bit technical, but to give you an idea that if you want to go into this field, try to develop some knowledge about it. And then I told you about GPT-3. There is a difference between Lambda of the Google and GPT-3 is that the Lambda is a conversational model. It can talk to you, it can do things, but GPT-3 creates for you. If you tell GPT-3 to create a mobile, and you make a Google search, certain people, they have tested GPT-3 and it created text for them, it wrote assignments for them, it created a mobile app for them using GPT-3. It gives you the product. And that's why the educationists, they are so much worried now that how do we know कि मेरे students ने जो assignment किया है वो अपनी अकल का इस्तेमाल किया है क्या laptop की अकल का इस्तेमाल किया है. That is the problem there. And then another AI based thing which is very good for us is this called as computer vision. Now, what is computer vision? You see this thing already in United Kingdom. It was implemented by the police, but then in Europe, but then they had to discard it because it became somewhat racial in nature. That it was identifying non-whites, and then there was a lot of hue and cry. Now, what is computer vision is that it helps in interpreting and understanding the visual world as it sees it. Abhi kya hai? You as a teacher in your class, you teach 40 students, 60 students, you can easily see the facial expression, non-verbal cues, those students who are sitting in the front row, but not who are little at a distance from you. You can't see them. What kind of, but the computer software with the help of the computer vision camera enabled into it can access the facial features, capture everything from the points. How do you make those face recognition system? Because there are many important points: the nose angle, the cheekbones, the chin, the lips, the eyes, distance between eyes and our forehead, and those things. On the basis of that, the software is available, and China is the first country in the world where it has allowed as to be installed it into the classroom. And in fact, there in the China, they have a social index. I don't know if you have heard about it or not. Social index. They give that social index to all the citizens of China. And what is that? Your behavior on the road, your public behavior. So when you are on the road, they keep observing you. And if you do something nasty things, you will be flagged. और समथिंग लाइक क्रेडिट स्कोर होता है वो आप लोगों के जो आप क्रेडिट कार्ड यूज करते हो उसी तरीके से इट गिव्स यू लो मार्क्स और हाई मार्क्स. That the technology has become so powerful that it can and that's why the sentiment analysis for affective domain, the software, it is very helpful. And that's why you see on the airport, the security agencies, they can track a person that if somebody is having घबराहट के something or anxiety on their face, they can see that this person looks anxious. there may be something wrong with this person. Either the person is having some wrong intentions or the person may be in danger and something like that. And Abhi, I read it, I think just 2 days ago in the newspaper. This is a case of India, and I think perhaps it is a case of New Delhi in Dwarka where I'm living. A person, he was unhappy with his life because of some disturbances, and he's cut his, slit his wrist. And on Facebook, he put it that I'm just leaving you all. So the software of the Facebook in America, it triggered because they have certain algorithms put on place from there. And immediately they sent the message to Delhi headquarters, the police headquarters there. From the police headquarters of Delhi, I think it is an ITO, a message came to Dwarka police station. And immediately the police people, they rushed, they tried to find out that where that person is. And by that time they reached there, the loss of blood was there. But ultimately they could save the person's life. Just see the power of, and it came into the newspaper due to these things, and these technologies, they are very powerful, and that's why many people, they are afraid of them also, that the government can misuse them. Those things, they are there. The another language is R. And these are the benefits of learning R, and particularly those of you who are in statistics, who are dealing with research and who are dealing with big data, I suggest that you learn R, and it is very simple. It is not, and it is open source. That is the good point. And this is very good for those of you who are into data processing. Means it is not SPSS or those kind of things. It is, because they are the softwares in which you have to run a particular statistical package. But here, with the help of this, you can create visualization. You can manage the data, you can process the data when you have something available to you. That is the thing. Now, let us come to the adaptive learning algorithms. How artificial intelligence is, AlphaGo is a very good game. And I think you know about this famous game in 1997. Garry Kasparov, the world champion, was defeated by the machine in 1997, IBM Deep Blue machine. And chess is a highly complex game. So many combinations you have to think. In the first round, he won, but in the next round, next year, IBM came with the improved version, and then the machine defeat the world champion in there. This adaptive algorithm is a very famous case. Those of you, you may be knowing Media Lab Asia, that organization. So they were conducting one program, and they called a professor from some IIM, professor of management, very reputed professor, and they told him that we have this group of people, our participants, like you have this FDP and Meenakshi ji and Preeti ji, they are, they have called all of you in this session. So there, the organization told that professor that these are our participants. They come from different background, and we want you to create a curriculum which will suit to their individual requirements. वो प्रोफेसर बोले जी बहुत मुश्किल है, अब ये इतने सारे लोग हैं, हर एक के लिए इंडिविजुअली मैं करिकुलम कैसे बनाऊंगा, मैं जो बनाऊंगा वो सबके लिए एक सा होगा. That was not possible at that time, but now it is possible. It is possible with the help of adaptive learning algorithms. I'll give you one example. I think those of you who may, let me see if I have with me. I think I had it, unless I must not have uninstalled it. There is a very, oh sorry, I think I uninstalled it, but you can search it, Duolingo, Duolingo, Duolingo. It is a mobile app to learn another language, and it is very good app. And Kirti ji is saying, so Kirti can tell you more about it. This app is very interesting, very simple, and it will ask you, when you tell the software, tell the app that you want to learn, say for example, Tamil Telugu, then it will ask you what is your current level, how do you know about it, whether you are zero, beginner, intermediate or advanced, and accordingly, then it will show you the content. So that becomes adaptive learning. It is a simple example of that. The software tries to find your current level, and on the basis of that, it offers you the content. There is no need for everyone to start from zero. And that's what our education system is. When you go to the college, you don't repeat your school education. because by that time we believe that your school education has made certain foundation, and from there now you want to go step up from there. So this is adaptive learning algorithms, and this is the world of algorithms. Everything is algorithm based. Now another comes here. Do you know Herbert? If I say Herbert, George Wells, you may not be aware. If I say H.G. Wells, immediately everybody say, yes, we have heard about him. Long back, I think it was somewhere in 1895 or somewhere, he gave that concept of time machine. Means the futuristic thinking. And at that time, the people, he is considered to be the father of science fiction. But the thing that has come, that now with the help of artificial intelligence, we are able to do so much of the things. That how these are the various areas. And the most important area has been in the field of decision making and automation. And both these things, they are there because as humans, we can make a mistake. In automation, human being, fatigue, tiredness, that can affect us, but not the machine. Although machine fatigue is still there. Means don't think that machines never fatigue. Machine bhi thakta hai. But then not as we humans. हमको हर 5 मिनट के बाद चाय चाहिए. मशीन को नहीं चाहिए. You know? so that break it doesn't need there. And particularly some of your machines, say like for example your refrigerator, you don't switch it off unless you want to clean it up. Otherwise 24 hours, 5 years, it keeps on working like that. And then decision making, the kind of decision it takes there, and then these things, they are there. So this allows us to create those things. We consider them, the artificial intelligence now is in such a stage that we can have it in the routine kind of artificial intelligence, the artificial general intelligence, and the artificial super intelligence, which is of the highest order in there. So what is the difference? That the narrow intelligence or the normal intelligence is that where the intelligence by the machine is equated to the intelligence of a human being. Means it is some, like say for example the app or the spam filters or the kind of Google Translate. You know, you do Google translation, sometimes you think that yeah, it is okay, but not good enough. So you have to take the help of your friend. Like I have a good friend, Dr. Renu Vij. She is helping me in translating some of the Open Education Resource University, the Wikipedia pages from English to Hindi, and her translation is perfect. So if I use Google Translation, I still have some problem. But when she does it, it is perfect that way. So that is. But then when it exceeds us, then it becomes there, the kind of super intelligence in which it learns on its own. It goes beyond that. So what is artificial AGI, general intelligence? Say like when it tries to imitate our sensory perception. If you see something, and a very interesting example happened, you know, you use this Google app, what is the Google Map, and when you use your Google Map, it shows you the roads which are highly crowded. So a red line will appear on your app, and then you can avoid those roads because you know that it is crowded. One person, I think it is 2 years now, he created a funny thing. He took that trolley, you know, the trolley in the mall, or something like that trolley, and put 90 mobiles on that, all with their Google Map activated, and traveled on a empty road. No other vehicle, no other person on that road. And Google Map showed it that there is a jam on this road. And then he did another experiment on a busy road. He asked all the people to switch off their mobile where there was completely chaos. Yeah, traffic jam. Yeah, thank you, Mandeep. Yeah, that was the real case. So you can befool the machine. When the empty road is there, Google will show you, no, don't go that road. It is completely traffic jam on that, where it is only single person standing there. So this is like sensory perception. where the machine cannot. And then the motor skills, how the Rubik cube, there are certain softwares where the machines, they have been developed to solve the Rubik cube, but these fingers, the movements, our biological mechanism is very, very complex. The dexterity involved in making these movements there, but the thing is happening. And the natural language understanding, how with the help of, if the machine can read a blog, assistive technology. Do you know what is assistive technology? Those people among us who are specially challenged, say for example, those who cannot see, they have a particular software installed on their machine who reads what is on the screen, including website or any text appearing on there. So it can read. So reading is simple. But after reading, if you want the machine to interpret it, to make some sense out of that, that becomes the language processing. And to bring it to the natural level as a human being, we would do, it will be a good there. And then the super intelligence, in which it exceeds our capabilities. And there are certain experiments into that, in which the machines, they try to imitate the human intelligence. And already, if you know about Pranav Mistry, make a Google search about Pranav Mistry. He was the youngest professor considered at MIT there. And sixth sense technology, he created certain sensors, and just you don't need any camera. You put those sensors on the tip of your fingers and just simply click it. It will take the photograph, which you can project anywhere. That is the sixth sense technology. Google is full of those videos of that time. Nowadays, I think it is 2021. So perhaps in 2019, in October, working with Samsung now, he had demonstrated humanoids. And you may be already be knowing about Sophia. Sophie, the first artificial machine which has been granted a visa by which country? Yeah, you can find it by which country, but that. So you see, the progress is going into that. Then the machines, they are going to imitate the human beings. Let us now see their applications, and particularly just an example in financial services, how AI is helping us. It is helping us in wealth management. There are softwares, they tell us that, okay, something is going to be drastic, so take care of your money, customer support, transactions, you have these things, data analytics, there, fraud detection, and particularly this corona period has shown us a very negative dark side of the human being, where in our university also many people suffered. They wanted oxygen cylinder. So and this Facebook University, yeah, I like this Ravish Kumar, the India TV anchor word, Facebook University. There are all kind of nonsense goes on. So the person will post a mobile number that I have the oxygen cylinders. You contact him. The person will say, pay me, send the amount to my bank account, and after that the person will disappear, like that. Those things, they use these things. But let us see the educational implications of that. How the AI can empower the teachers. It can help us to become AI fluent smart educator. It can help a learner to become an autonomous learner. It can provide us recommender systems or content personalization systems. Recommender system is something like Netflix, in which you watch a movie and after that the system tells you, since you watched this, here are these things you can watch. Chatbots, co-learning spaces, AI-enabled assessment systems, those things, and blockchain for academic credentials. This blockchain is an upcoming tech, means it is already established. And I read that some country in South America has given the permission. In India, it is not yet accepted. Reliance did some work a few years ago in accepting cryptocurrency, but और अभी पिछले दिनों एलन मस्क ने एक ट्वीट छोड़ा था, तो उसके बाद एक बिटकॉइन की कीमत $25,000 हो गई थी। 25,000 US डॉलर्स का मतलब 25,000 को आप 75 से गुना कीजिए, वो जितना बना उतना एक बिटकॉइन का कॉस्ट। आफ्टर दैट डोजे कॉइन, डॉग ई कॉइन, वो किया उसने, वो बेचारा बिटकॉइन लुढ़क गया, and nowadays it is fluctuating, but still some people say that it is better to invest in the cryptocurrency Bitcoin rather than investing it in gold, because it will still give you more revenues from there. How the AI is going to help us for learners. it helps us in two fronts, to help us in becoming a better learner and to help us in becoming a fast learner. We need to become a better learner to learn, because unless we retain the things, or unless we learn the things for the future, somebody, I don't know if you are tempting to ask me this question after this session, कि सर वो AI teachers को replace कर देगी क्या? If you are going to ask me that question. So my answer to that future question is right now is that technology may not replace the teachers, because this is not my statement. I read it by someone else. He says that technology may not replace the teachers, but those teachers who do not use the technology will be replaced by those teachers who use the technology. And it is happening now. Means पहले तो लोग कहते थे कि नहीं, फेस टू फेस ही सब कुछ होता है, ऑनलाइन टीचिंग कुछ नहीं होता, और अब जब सिर के ऊपर आ गए, ऑनलाइन टीचिंग ही अल्टरनेटिव मोड बन गया है, तो सबको सीखना पड़ा. सबको गूगल आ गया है, सबको जूम आ गया है, and everybody is comfortable now. And had this corona not been there, many of us would not have, thought about Zoom or other these applications. So you need to be better learner, and second, you need to be a faster learner. Faster learner means something like Formula 1 race car, picking up the speed of from 0 to 60 kilometers within 3-4 seconds. Why? Things are changing very fast. Today you have one technology, tomorrow it will completely gone away. Nowadays you don't see the advertisement for the position of data entry operators. कोई नहीं मांगता, कोई नहीं पूछता, टाइपिस्ट की कोई नौकरी नहीं निकालता आजकल. क्यों? क्योंकि we all are typists. We all do our own data entry. मेरी एक स्टूडेंट है यहाँ अम्बेडकर यूनिवर्सिटी में, वो बहुत अच्छी है, BA फर्स्ट ईयर की स्टूडेंट है. वो कहती है सर मेरे को कोई इंटर्नशिप में दिला दो, मुझे पैसा नहीं चाहिए, मैं अपना MS Excel, पावर पॉइंट और MS वर्ड की प्रैक्टिस करना चाहती हूँ. मैं सोचता हूँ कि यदि किसी के पास कुछ होगा भी तो डाटा एंट्री के लिए क्या देगा. मैं अपना आर्टिकल लिखता हूँ तो मैं टाइप ही कर लेता हूँ. मतलब मैं उसके लिए कोई काम नहीं ढूंढ पा रहा हूँ. वो बेचारा अपना पावर पॉइंट को का एक्सपीरियंस बढ़ाना चाहती है. फिर मैंने अपने इंटरनेशनल दोस्तों को बोला कि यार तुम अपना हाथ से लिख के कुछ भेज देना, वो तुम्हारे लिए PPT बना देगी. द सिचुएशन इज लाइक दैट. ए पर्सन इज सेइंग कि मैं फ्री में आपका काम करना चाहती हूँ, मैं आपका PPT बना दूंगी, आपकी एक्सेल शीट बना दूंगी, बट काम नहीं है. क्यों? क्योंकि हर कोई अपना काम कर रहा है. सो द थिंग्स दे हैव चेंज्ड इन दैट वे. So that way, and technology really helps in both these settings, becoming better learner and becoming a faster learner. You can learn things in a very much faster pace. और आपने देखा होगा गूगल यूनिवर्सिटी के थ्रू कितने लोगों ने गूगल का वीडियो यूट्यूब का वीडियो देखकर कितने सारे स्किल्स, मीन्स वो ये जो पंखा चल रहा है आपके ऊपर, ये खराब हो गया, रिपेयर हो गया, आपको दुकान पे आप यूट्यूब पे 4 वीडियो देखिए कि पंखे में क्या खराबी है, कहाँ पे ग्रीस डालना है, क्या करना है, डन. Means the things they are there, a few things you can better. But this is the best example of application of AI in education. Does somebody know who this is? That is the best example. The person standing in the center is Professor Ashok Goyal. He's a professor of computer science at Georgia Tech University in United States. And he, like in India also nowadays we have teaching assistants, and he also has his class and some teaching assistants you see along with him. And अब इसका जब student ज़्यादा हो गए, so he hired one more teaching assistant named Jill Watson. और 6 महीने तक, 1 सेमेस्टर तक students ने अपना कोर्स किया. एग्जाम हो गया, रिजल्ट आ गया. रिजल्ट के बाद द टीचर सेड, प्रोफेसर सेड, अशोक गोयल जी जो कंप्यूटर पे हाथ रखे खड़े हैं, कि भैया सभी हॉल में आ जाओ, आप लोगों को टीचर असिस्टेंट से मिलवाता हूँ. सो एवरी स्टूडेंट्स केम एंड देन दे वर बीइंग इंट्रोड्यूस्ड. सो लाइक ये बैठे हैं, वो बैठे हैं, ये है, ये है, ये है. एंड अल्टीमेटली सर द पीपल वर आस्किंग सर वेयर इज जिल वाटसन, एंड देन ही सेड दैट दिस इज जिल वाटसन in the computer. They were so shocked that for 6 months the student could not identify that they were teaching through a computer software. This is the power. And अभी हंसने की बात आएगी आपकी मनदीप जी और कीर्ति जी कि ज्यादा एम्बेरेस्ड तो उसमें से वो लड़के थे जिन्होंने ये सोचा ये जो जिल वाटसन है और उसको बार बार मैसेज भेजते थे, आर यू फ्री ऑन द फ्राइडे इवनिंग, can you go come with us for coffee and like that because software recorded everything. So that was very embarrassing with them, but see the power. They could not identify that they're talking to a machine, not a human being. So Jill Watson, it is a famous case. Just make a Google search on it. Ashok, yeah, they thought her as a girl. Professor Ashok Goel, Jill, Jill Watson. Watson is IBM Watson. Jill is the name given. Watson is the Sherlock Holmes वाला Watson. वो Watson IBM ने वहाँ से वो उसको वो किया. So this is a fantastic example of how the artificial intelligence can help you into it. And these are the two applications. I think most of you know about Grammarly. And Grammarly is AI powered. You see, उन्होंने अपने होम पेज के ऊपर लिखा हुआ है AI powered assistant. और आप एक बार इसका फ्री वर्जन आप अपने ब्राउजर में कर लेंगे या अपने माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ऑफिस में उसको कर लेंगे. As soon as you start typing, it will tell you any mistake, spelling mistakes, grammatical things, those kind of things. It tells you. I don't know, but try this Hemingway app. I gave the training on Hemingway app, those of you, and it gives the analysis on the right side, and it tells you that what is the level of your English, the writing, and whether 5वीं क्लास का बच्चा इसको समझ सकता है या नहीं समझ सकता. You know, like that. It tells you, it shows you. These are the AI based enabled applications, and you can use them right now for your Scopus based articles. If you are waiting for your API for your case, better start using these applications. And they have their, add to your Firefox, your Chrome, and as an extension. It has its paid version also, but your work will be okay with its free version too. So, and Hemingway app, do try it. It is wonderful. You just, ये जो आपको screen पे you visible these sentences, just delete them, paste or type your text, and as soon as you start typing it, writer के अंदर वो जो आपको दिख रहा है 1 out of 11 sentences, it will give you analytics and it will advise you that whether your sentences are too difficult. जैसे इसके अंदर से there is one sentence which is hard to read, and that is in वो कौन सा कलर बोलते हो आप इसको, ऑरेंज है या पिंक है या लाइट ऑरेंज है या कौन सा है, the first top sentence, and after that there is one sentence which is very hard to read. The next, if you see a red light, your sentence is so dense and complicated that and like that. So those things it gives you. These are the power of artificial intelligence. And this is app. अपना मोबाइल ओपन करो सभी लोग, और मोबाइल में अपना ब्राउजर में जाके, दिस इज वेरी गुड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस. और आपके घर में यदि कोई छोटा बच्चा है तो आप उसको जरूर बताओगे. वो गेम प्ले करने से तो ये सीखेगा, ज्यादा बेटर रहेगा. क्विक ड्रॉ विद google.com पर जाओ आप, फिर वहां पर आपको ये इस बटन को प्रेस करना है, लेट्स ड्रॉ, एंड देन इट विल टेल you draw anything, just draw anything, and then the software will tell you कि आपने जो ड्रॉ किया है वो क्या है. वो आपको 6 या 7 ऑप्शन देगा, और उसके बाद वो ये बताएगा कि आपने जो ड्रॉ किया और उसी तरह की कोई चीज the other users they have drawn and that is the machine learning. Over a period of time, the machine will start recognizing your drawing, and it is very funny. Just draw something and it will try to find out कि आपने यदि वो जूता बनाने की कोशिश की थी, so it will think whether really it is a shoe or a train or a car or something, means according to that. That is the AI. You try to make the machine learn on something. Now let me show you some examples where the AI is really in actual practice in real life is being used in various universities. This is Durham University in UK. They have a digital assistant called as Meet Holly, and this Holly replies to the questions of the students of the university on various aspects. It's a very powerful chatbot. This is University of British Columbia in Vancouver, Canada, and they have this language ChatSim, allowing the people to using the virtual reality applications for developing the language. of a particular, suppose you are in a store. So how do you go to the store? How do you talk to the reception, the person standing on the reception, and try to find out something, those kind of things there using it. These are the real screenshots from the websites I have taken there. Then this is University of Illinois in Chicago. They have a chatbot. It is called as Socrates. And this is integrated with their learning management system, which is Blackboard. Moodle, Blackboard, Sakai, Google Classroom. These are the examples of learning management systems. So here they have integrated it with their learning management system, the Socrates. And then this is University of Iowa. And this is very good in application. I wish that it should be available with us also. Using scorecard. And this application identifies the people who need certain support, at-risk students. Those people who the system will think that the student may fail in a particular course. So it will generate certain alerts कि ये student के साथ कुछ problem है, उसको आ नहीं रहा है, marks जो हैं उसके, and the student is in danger. The student may fail the course. So there, it called as the scorecards. और काफी है, देखो अब वो last updated 2016. It means they have been using it for quite some time now. Then Natural Language Processing Lab at Penn State University. और यदि आप इसको यहाँ पे पढ़ेंगे तो ये क्या करता है, ये सॉफ्टवेयर इनका स्टूडेंट की जो असाइनमेंट्स हैं उनका जो वर्क है उसका वो ऑटोमेटिक कंटेंट एनालिसिस करेगा. And that gives the software an idea, the teacher an idea that whether there is any kind of plagiarism, not plagiarism as such, but उनका अपना original idea है या कहीं से यूं कहीं उतार कर लिया है, because the language expression, if you try to write on your own, you have a certain writing style, and the computer can identify that pattern, whether in the form of the sentence formulation or expression of your thought, use of the words, or those kind of things. This is an NLP lab, which is the teachers, they use it for their students into it. This is from New Zealand, Mind Lab. And here the students, they are trained so that means for the it is used for in a way of sentiment analysis or identifying the affective domain of the students there. So how do they study, how their emotions they are affected in this lab, that kind of application they are using. And there is one technique you must have heard about it called as Internet of Technology, Internet of Things. Similarly, we have Internet of Behavior, where basically this is for business circle, where the consumer behavior is analyzed. अब देखो वो ये जो हम यूनिवर्सिटीज में प्रोफेसर है ना साइकोलॉजी के, ये कोई भी प्रोफेसर नहीं होता ये एक्चुअल में. इनसे बड़ा प्रोफेसर तो वो जो दुकान पे बैठा है एक आदमी, वो है जिसने जीरो पढ़ रखा है, दुनिया अपनी जिंदगी में कभी किसी यूनिवर्सिटी स्कूल में नहीं गया होगा, लेकिन उसकी दुकान पे जैसे ही ग्राहक पहला पैर रख देता है, दुकान वाला इमीडिएटली समझ जाएगा कि ये भाई या बहन सामान खरीदेंगे या नहीं खरीदेंगे. उनसे बड़ा साइकोलॉजिस्ट कोई नहीं होता. वो हम यूनिवर्सिटी में चाहे अपने आप को कितना ही एमिरेटस प्रोफेसर या ऑफ साइकोलॉजी कुछ भी बोले, वो नहीं. बट दिस सॉफ्टवेयर अलाउज यू to yeah, you note it, the people in the shop, they are much more वो देख के बता देगा कि इस आदमी ने टाइम पास करना है, विंडो शॉपिंग करने आ रहा है, धंधा खोटा कर रहा है, या वास्तव में कुछ लेगा या नहीं लेगा. But those things there, here it allows you to analyze the behavior of the person by making whether the person is a real customer or what, those things. But very good for teaching community to understand whether a student is really interested in the study, in the course or not, something like that. Now let us come to our own. It is a good thing that CBSE has done at least this good thing to come up with a AI curriculum from class 8 to 12. But the problem is, curriculum तो launch कर दिया, पढ़ाएगा कौन? There are no teachers of AI. क्यों नहीं है? AI comes into MCA और MTech only. BCA में तो होता ही नहीं, अभी होने लग गया है, बट वैसे नहीं होता था पिछले, जब से ये इन्होंने किया तब से लोग जाग रहे हैं कुछ सालों से, पहले नहीं था. It is in MCA and MTech, and that too as an optional course, not as a compulsory course. अब जब optional है तो मेरी मर्जी, मैं लूँ या ना लूँ. Certainly. So there is a big scarcity of the teachers for that. To keep it into view, what we are doing now, I'll show you what we are doing here in New Delhi under the guidance of Professor M.M. Pant. Maybe someone of you already know him. He was a senior professor at IIT Kanpur and then Vice Chancellor at Indira Gandhi National Open University. Nowadays, he is conducting free sessions for the empowerment of teachers and students to make them a self-learner. And here he has created a course with 5-6 modules to make the parents, the teachers, and the students empowered to use the artificial intelligence. Now, if you want to do it in your own institution, if you want to create certain course on that, what you should know, what you should be doing. So here it is. The first module pertains to the origin and presence of AI. What is there? A brief history, what is Turing test, what is simple algorithm automation, or this, that, certain journal terms, and the type, whether it is narrow intelligence, journal, or super. That is the first module. After that, you go to machine learning or deep learning, their relationships, their neural networks, their mathematics behind that. The third is the AI tools. You should be knowing about what are predictive models, what is speech recognition, what is natural language, what is computer vision. Remember computer vision. वो जो मशीन को यदि आप उनको लिए गमला दिखाएंगे तो कंप्यूटर को पता होना चाहिए कि that this is a plant, not a flower or what or something in there like that. So computer vision for that. Then application areas in where it will be applied to finance, to defense, to health, to transport, where, and for social good, for humanity, for sustainable development goals, for bias, for foreseeable future, something like that there. Now, CBSE and our education policy 2020, they have, we prepared it when it was as a draft policy, but there, so we suggested that these lessons, they can be integrated into the school curriculum. So we created Professor Pant has created a course. I hope this last message was not for me. And then for educators, to allow them to be able to, as a AI enabled smart educator, how they can use the power of AI in their teaching learning, not as teacher of AI, as a simple teacher. You may be teaching English, Hindi, sociology, philosophy, whatever, chemistry, botany, but how you can use AI for your own teaching learning, what you should know about that. And then one of the most important group for parents also. The parents need to be educated about these things. So there was a course available for them also in simple terms, not any mathematical or those kind of things, simple things, how they can understand that what is the power, what is AI, what is machine learning, and those kind of things. So these are few of the things which I wanted to share with you. And if there are any questions, then we hope. Okay. There are no questions in your chat box, so you can do. And if you tried draw with Google, then let me know your response. What did you find it? It can work on your mobile or on your computer. Anywhere it will work wonderfully.
Yes, sir. I tried to draw a circle. There was like it described what I draw by speaking, as well as the titles were going on, that what it is like. Then I draw a rectangle. It describes what I did. I put some lines in it. It describes everything.
That's great. Wonderful.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
And
sir. Thank you
yeah,
for wonderful session also, sir.
oh, you are welcome.
It
You are
was very
welcome.
informative session.
Yeah, this is a good news that Rama Gandotra ji is saying that my children are trying. Something is very funny. Yes, this is funny. This is really funny. And in fact, they can learn how machine language works. They can understand from here that you tell the machine that, yes, this figure is this. And after that, the machine will become intelligent. So, Jyoti ji, प्रकट होइए.
Yes, sir.
Amitabh Bachchan says on कौन बनेगा करोड़पति.
Hanji,
Giving
thank you, sir.
some-
Thank you so much. It was indeed a very knowledgeable, very informative, interesting, insightful session. And we learned a lot from it, sir. And you rightly said that nothing matters more than education, and use of artificial intelligence in education makes it more promising and personalized. I don't think that participants have any query. The session was self-explanatory, sir. And now I invite Mr. Joydeep for the formal vote of thanks.
And my thanks to all of you, Vivek, Ravi ji, and Kamana ji, Mandeep ji, Jyoti ji, all of you for your goodwill and your encouragement.
Mr. Joydeep? Mr. Joydeep, are you there? Then
So you were supposed to share a link of that.
yes,
Mr. Joydeep is here, but I think he is facing some problems in connecting.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Yes, madam. Thank you, madam. Shall I start?
Yes, please.
Hanji.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you, madam. Good afternoon to all. I am Joydeep Talabatra, Assistant Professor in Physical Education at Women's College, Agartala, Tripura. I am really fortunate to be a part of this 7-day National FDP conducted by the IQSE of GGDSD College, Kheri Gurna, Punjab, on improving the teaching and research acumen. It has been really amazing to experience the high deliberation of all the research person of the session held till today. We learned a lot and new things as well as refreshed what we already knew. I must congratulate the principal madam, organizing team, and faculty of the college for their tremendous contribution in making this NFDP a successful and meaningful program. I also extend my compliments toward all the event coordinators, chairpersons, reviewers, and vote of thanks presenter for performing their tasks so effortlessly. Now, I take this opportunity to thank the overall coordinator of the day, Dr. Jyoti Arora, for excellently coordinating the session of the day. I also thank the chairperson, Dr. Jagjit Kaur, for introducing the resource person of the third technical session. Words are inadequate to express my gratitude towards the resource person, Dr. R.C. Sharma, who presented an overall session on application of artificial intelligence in education. We have been truly enlightened, sir, by your deliberation and assure you of the applying the same knowledge and the skill with our students for their development of artificial intelligence in the education. I also thank you for you passionately answer all the queries of the participant. Last but not the least, I want to thank all of my fellow participants of this online FDP for their enthusiastic involvement in this session. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
thank
sir.
you, Mr. Joydeep. And thank you so much, sir. Once again, we acknowledge that you took out time out of your busy schedule and provided us with so much knowledge and information. Thank you so much. And the feedback form, link for feedback form is available in the chat box. It is open for 20 minutes. All the participants are advised to fill the feedback form within the prescribed time. Thank you.
Okay, bye everyone. Take care.
जी,
Thank you, sir.